Did you know? Pikmin started off its life as a Mario tech demo. At Space World 2000, Nintendo showed off the GameCube's processing power in a tech demo titled Mario 128. The demo had 128 Marios walking around on a warpable platform. They could be seen dismantling a giant Mario sprite and carrying the individual blocks with them. The main point of the demo was to show off the large amount of characters that all had artificial intelligence, as such a feat was not possible on the N64. At the 2007 Game Developers Conference, Shigeru Miyamoto confirmed that the demo's large amount of AI-enabled characters formed the basis for Pikmin. He also mentioned that the warpable platform in the demo influenced the freeform gravity-based level design in Super Mario Galaxy. Pikmin's Captain Olimar could even be a nod to the game's Mario origins, as Olimar's Japanese name is Orima, an anagram of Mario. According to Miyamoto, the entire project started after he asked his team to create a completely new game that would be nothing like a sequel to Mario. In Pikmin's early stages, it was a very different game. It was going to start with two creatures that took on the role of primitive man, and the game was called Adam and Eve. The player took on a godlike role, watching and influencing their lives. You could give them love or make them fight, and depending on your actions, it could lead to them making a nest and having children. The creatures' populations could even grow to form villages. The enemy Bulborbs in Pikmin are a relic to this stage in development. They played a similar role to that of a mammoth, and would cause trouble for the primitive inhabitants by attacking their village. Although there was an idea for seeing how many creatures could survive to be the game's goal, the developers began to question the game's theme and wondered what exactly the goal of the game would be. A change in development was driven by the desire to control a large group of characters with the newly developed GameCube C-Stick. This desire then sparked the idea of grabbing and throwing the characters around the screen. After about 18 months of development, the idea of Pikmin and the game's scale were decided. Previously, the developers had even considered making the Pikmin as big as cats, and there was no player character on screen. The new direction that formed the basis for the final game was partly chosen after the developers saw Pikmin working together to carry an object to a goal. The Pikmin were originally black, ant-like, and consisted of different sizes to distinguish amongst them. The difference in size was swapped out for a difference in color, with definable features, as Miyamoto didn't like the earlier dull designs. Some other unused ideas were managing tired Pikmin, separating individual favorite Pikmin for battles, and individual Pikmin having a life bar. The Pikmin were even planned to have free will. Some would obey you, and some would ignore you. This was removed to avoid any unnecessary frustration. Some unused textures in the game's data also reveal that Pikmin types other than yellow were going to use bomb rocks. This was presumably to give the yellow Pikmin more significance, as their higher throwing range doesn't come into play as often as, say, the red and blue Pikmin's more prominent abilities. There's also evidence suggesting Pikmin was going to have a two-player mode. There's an unused map titled Tudo 2 that was apparently meant to be the opening stage for a cooperative mode, but multiplayer wasn't added to the series until Pikmin 2. As well as unused maps, the game also has several unused models. This includes a giant model of Mario and a model titled Karibo, the Japanese name for Goombas. The model resembles concept art for a Goomba that was meant to appear in Super Mario Sunshine called Cug. Cug does appear in Super Mario Sunshine, but it's not easily found, and it's 2D rather than a full 3D model. It can be seen by glitching the camera under the ground near the clam-style teacup rides in Pinna Park. There's also unused models for a key and a door, which are thought to be leftovers from the Mario 128 stage of development, and an early model of the game's pellets. Actually, one interesting piece of trivia about the pellets is that according to the series developer Shigefumi Hino, the reason they pop out of defeated enemies is because whatever they eat turns into lumps of nutrients, forming as pellets in the creature's stomach. Several elements within Pikmin are directly inspired by real life. One example of this appears at the end of each day. According to Miyamoto, the whistle that alerts you to the coming sunset was inspired by a part of Japanese culture, where in some rural areas of Japan, people use melodies to signal the coming of sunset. The whistle, in fact, had other inspirations. Miyamoto wanted to give the feel of a teacher rounding up students for when Olimar rounds up his Pikmin. He thought the sound would be universal and understood in all regions. Nintendo also had a unique marketing approach for Pikmin. They actually cultivated their own breed of flower. Nintendo reached an agreement with S&G Flowers USA to make the flowers available to the public. They took a species named Sutera cordata and bred it to more closely resemble the flowers of a yellow Pikmin. This new breed was dubbed Bacopa cabana and received the official name the Pikmin flower. The flower became available almost half a year after the game's North American release. Pikmin also had some interesting marketing in Japan. A song called called Ai no Uta was featured in commercials for the game. The song was specifically made for Pikmin, but wasn't featured in the game itself. It released as a CD single in December 2001 and stayed in the Japanese top 10 singles chart for several weeks. The song became popular and interestingly outsold Pikmin itself in Japan. The track sold over 630,000 copies, whereas Pikmin only managed to sell around 500,000 copies. Ai no Uta was also put in Pikmin 2 in the form of an Easter egg. If you gather 20 of each type of Pikmin and put them in one spot, they'll begin to sing the song. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and make sure you also check out DidYouKnowGaming.com, where we post gaming trivia every single day. If you like this video, check out our other videos. And by our, I mean them. Check out click them. I'm JonTron. Come check out my top 10, because Shane told me to put that one. If you want to check out one of my videos that actually isn't sucky, you go to a different channel. Okay, bye.
"恋とか